I can never not love black people. You can list all the bad habits, the negative stereotypes, the black on black issues. You can name whatever you want to name. You can list it however you want to list it. I can never stop loving black people. Do you know why I can never stop loving black people? It's because to not love your people is to not love yourself. If you have read or researched the smallest amount of information that you can about who we are, you can never not love black people. Because we are the catalyst, we are the origin point, we are the genesis, we are everything everyone wants to be. They just don't want our bad habits. But our bad habits are the result of not continuing the fight that our ancestors started. We are not our ancestors. And you're correct, you're not. Because if you were, 75% of the shit that goes on today wouldn't go on without action, without consequence. See, we traded in rebellion. We traded in action for peaceful protest. We traded in liberation and freedom for negotiation and bartering. The problem with that is you sit there and you aggressively posture while trying to over talk and out yell your enemy. The enemy has already understood that you are afraid of anything further than negotiation. So the enemy sits there and lets you yell, lets you talk, lets you scream and shout as much as you want, knowing well that you won't take a step past that line that he or her drew. You were taught what they wanted you to believe about Jesus. You were taught what they wanted you to believe about yourself. You were taught what they wanted you to believe about how to live and how to become successful. You were taught by criminals. You were taught by rejects. You were taught by the people that Europe didn't want. You were taught that you were less than by people that are actually less than. Whether you call yourself black, African, African American, you are the father and mother of everything you're looking at, of everyone you see. Take pride in that fact. All of this heartbrokenness, betrayal, and now you hurting people because you a hurt person. You can't seem to trust your brother and sister because you've been betrayed and your trust has been broken. The show must go on, regardless to how many times you've been hurt, regardless to how many times you've been betrayed. The best thing we can hope for in this pro-black thing, if you actually do it, some good people from the movement will come and speak on your behalf at your funeral. The best thing you can hope for is that the fight continues after you've made your sacrifice. Because the enemy, the devil, has made it a climb to Mount Everest to even communicate with your own people. The enemy, the devil, has made it a climb to the heavens to even get your people to participate in the movement while they're calling themselves pro-black. My people have broken my heart more than any other race. Black women have broken my heart more than any other woman. Black men have betrayed my trust more than any other men. Yet I still prefer my brothers, my sisters, my people. This is not a game of pandering. This is understanding of what the big picture is. Every action against pro-blackness is a score for white supremacy. And if you know that, you wouldn't do or say anything that would betray pro-blackness. So before you make a video on the internet demonizing black men or black women, you should ask yourself, whose face you trying to put a smile on? Understand the YNs in the streets, the young kids in the streets are in the streets as a consequence for what the parents did not do. Now you can sit up here and say, oh man, I went to work, I provided a great life. Yeah, but that child lost time, love, guidance, and nurturing that could have kept them out the streets. And I understand you got to get the bills paid, but the money you make do not pay the payment due that is past due. You getting a red letter from it for the bill that's due on that child's heart, on the nurturing that's due, on the guidance that's due, on what's needed to keep that baby out the streets. And even so what? He's in there. She's out there. There's skills to be learned in them streets if you use them correctly. This goes out to the young brother and young sister out there busting and moving, out there dripping and sliding, out there doing your thing. I understand you feel like you got to be out there. It's skills to be learned. It's things you can learn that you ain't going to learn in school. But you got to understand the longer you stay in it, the higher the chance that graveyard coming. And you might think to yourself, nah, not me. Yeah, you. No one is exempt. The baddest amongst us is the ones that go first. The ones that put in the most work is the ones that go first. This is not my law. This is universal law. You live by the sword, you die by it. Understand it. So you get what you need out of it. You learn discipline. You learn responsibility if you're doing it right. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how not to talk to people if you're doing it right. You learn math if you're doing it right. I know some people right now, but you can learn math in schools, not the way we do it. You can learn math right off the top of your dome. You can learn math right off the top of the head if you're doing it right. You'll be eyeballing shit real easily. The goal here is to take a large amount of brothers and sisters, whether those brothers and sisters move to Africa, whether those brothers and sisters stay here in America, and surround ourselves with each other on land built by us, on land fertilized by us, on land where we can build our homes, where we can build our own food, where we can do us without any influence from white supremacists, without any influence from the European reject. We have to learn how to unlearn the conditioning taught to us for the enemy. You are all being conditioned to be consumerist slaves. And if you choose to do nothing, your children will go to that. Your children will be a sacrifice to it. You are already a sacrifice to it. Right now, they working on your great-grandchildren. That's how far into this plan they are. But you busy worried about that next purse you finna get. You busy worried about them Jordans. You busy worried about that watch. You busy worried about some stupid ass shit that you don't need because you are a consumerist slave. Which is exactly what they want you to be, exactly where they want you to be at. My only question for you is, what have you unlearned recently? What part of the white supremacist manual have you unlearned? How many black men have you inspired today? How many black men have you empowered today? How many black women have you affirmed today? How many black women have you empowered today? In what way have you expressed love to your children? If your answer to that is, I paid the bills, I went to work, you failed. That baby walk out that door every day and everything in this world is telling them they a criminal, they not worth nothing, they ain't gonna be nothing, ain't never gonna be nothing. And your only remedy for that is I went to work?
They have weaponized blackness and they have used it against black people. And in this form, they have used it in the form that any problem today that is happening in the United States, the first suspect of anything, it is always a black person. Whether it is true they did it or not, but even before investigation, it is always a black person.
Remember, the universe expresses itself through every shade of creation, and melanin is one of the most beautiful signatures.